Hello everyone, my name is Alex Gomez, and on today's video we're gonna be sculpting a Hellboy based on the design of Max Grecke. So if you're new to this channel, please subscribe, like and comment, and don't forget to hit the notification bell so you can be notified when I post a video every Friday. So let's get to it. So this is gonna be a very simple and straightforward video. I recommend you to stick until the end of the video because I'm gonna show some lighting techniques, okay? So yeah, so like I always start, I kind of like follow the same path of my skull that I have in my, in my thumbnail, but in my icon right there, in my gizmo for the navigation. And I kind of like just go with the shape of the skull and kind of like start doing the orbital bones or kind of like carve into the orbital holes where you place the eyes. Then I just place the eyes and just with a polysphere, just append a new polysphere, place it and then mirror it, and you will have your second eye as well. And always make sure that you know, like it doesn't matter if you place it the right way, you still can move it because it's gonna be in a separate tool. For the nose, lately I kind of like try to carve a little bit of the nostril and then add the nose, kind of like that part of the cartilage as a new subtool. I added the horns, and then I started like filling out a little bit the face and the shape of the face. As you can see right now, it doesn't look as good like I always do in the beginning of the sculpting process. That's something that you have to take in consideration and don't stress out or give up about it. It just takes work and it takes time to do it. So yeah, like I just work in the facial expressions a little bit more. Then I decided to add the ears. I always add the ears kind of like a mid, almost end of my final details, but mostly kind of like a final block out per se, even though I add some primary details. I don't know, I just like to do it that way. Then I start like adding and polishing a little bit more my shapes using the pinch brush that you can get it in Character Workshop. 3 Character Workshop from Chain also. Anyway, so you see me here, like I added some colors and I still kind of like detailing a little bit more that side of the eyes, and then I kind of like put more details in the eyebrows, and also I get some shading underneath the eyes just to give that a little bit more depth. Then I move to the hair, and the hair I just mask the shape that I want, and then I do an extract. And after I do that extract, I definitely recommend that shape a little bit with that Dynamesh, but it's easier to do it when you Zbrush that shape. So probably like I extract and then Zbrush right after. I use the transpose option in the C plugins, so I kind of like merge everything together, and then I can just apply it to my model. And I did that just to break symmetry instead of merging all my characters or my tools, sorry. And then I kind of like put a little bit more details that has in that part of the eye that were not that clear. After I decimated all my characters, all my tools, I bring that to Maya, and I make sure that I have my color set on. I decimate it and I export it straight out of it. It's gonna bring the color information so there's no need of UVs, and that's something that probably I'm gonna be making a video in a little bit more depth of how you bring your characters to Maya without having to retopologize, without having to make UVs, and if your guys are using this just for illustration, which is awesome because it saves so much time. And you can do it either with Arnold, and you can do it either with Redshift. It will great on both of them. So what you have to do, you have to know that in that in your attribute editor, it has a color set, the object, so you're gonna see the color set right there. And then you're gonna add AI surface standard. You add the AI surface standard, you're gonna put the attribute, you're gonna put the name of that color set that was brought with your geometry from ZBrush. Then you're gonna connect to the base color, and you see that now it's showing. I already had IPR rendering going in this case, so you see that this part is going. I have a straight area light going from top to bottom. As you can see, a little bit of the shadow underneath the nose. That's what is giving that light right in front of it. But as you see now, that red is not a proper red. I think it's because the gamma is definitely different from ZBrush to Arnold. So what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna find a gamma correction node, so I can apply it just right between my AI standard color and then to my base color. So you just connect the out color to the gamma, and then the out color to the base color, and then you have to adjust the gamma correct. So you're gonna have to adjust the gamma. I think it's probably gonna work with 0.74 or something like that. It's gonna be better 0.75. I think it's a really good value, and you have to, as you see, gamma is RGB there, so you have to do it in the 3 different colors, and then you're gonna have that kind of red. I think I might have put it a little bit lower after, but I think that worked for me. But you can play around a little bit with those colors, but definitely like a 0.75 in each, it works good. So now that I have that setting, I just apply the other materials to the head and to the shirt and start playing with the light. So right now, as you can see, I just have one light coming from the top right in front of the camera going top. So I'm just gonna duplicate that light and just gonna move it down, and it's gonna be filling the underneath the face. I'm gonna make it a little bit closer and smaller. Definitely, I'm also gonna change the intensity to it. I take normalize off, so and take the intensity. So probably like around 100 or maybe something lower. So it feels a little bit of the color, but it's still like I have my key light giving me those dark shadows underneath the eyes, and that's something that I'm looking for. And I just adjust. I'm not gonna tell you like this is the number of the intensity that you have to put. It's just I just go with whatever it looks good and whatever is giving me the best results in this case, without having to worry like I always have to put the same settings or the same intensity. Honestly, it doesn't matter as long as it looks good. You just have to play with the lights and find a balance. Then I'm gonna add another light, and in this case the light is gonna be a rim light or a backlight, and that's gonna break my character from the background. So in this case I'm just gonna make it closer, but it's too little, so I'm just gonna make the intensity way higher, so probably like that. But I'm just getting right around the neck and the shirt, but I want that light to be picked up by the head as well. That's something that I'm really looking for. So I just kind of like make it a little bit further, and I'm going to change the temperature. So I'm gonna use a temperature a low temperature that is gonna give me a warm color. So as you can see, I have that light, and I move it a little bit to the side, this one, the front one. And if you see, I can just turn it off and turn it on and see what kind of results those lights are doing. And it's something that I really recommend for you guys to do that. Just kind of like turn on and turn off your lights. For the eye, so I wanted to give some emission to it, so I just put the weight up and give it a really bright yellow, so kind of like it meets that kind of yellowish color. It's kind of like a light without being a mesh light, just for the purpose of kind of like make it like a way brighter. So yeah, in this Arnold I'm just using a GPU instead of a CPU. You can see like the results of the IPR rendering is like way faster than a normal CPU. I don't know, hopefully like no renders do CPU anymore, because it's just so slow. Like GPU is definitely the way to go. So after that, I'm just gonna open my Arnold render, and I'm gonna definitely start rendering and see that everything is going good, that I don't have any back drops or anything like that. So I can just do the final touches right in Photoshop, some color correction as well. For the camera AA, initially it's at 3, but I'm just gonna put it up to 6 just to get rid of all that noise that you guys can see here. And after getting rid of that noise and changing obviously the size of it, like 1080, but 1080 is the standard size that I always do and use for Instagram. So the camera AA, I just gonna put it to 6, and then I just gonna render it again, and that's gonna take me like probably like 26 seconds for that image, 1080 by 1080, and it's super fast. It's not as fast as Redshift, as something that I was doing in this case in Arnold, is because I use this for my class. I teach at Mackenzie College in New Brunswick, and we're in the sculpting phase of the class, like teach like all around like a 3D animation, but now we started in 3D sculpting in Zbrush. So that's why this time you guys are seeing me using Arnold instead of my favorite lovely Redshift that I use a lot. Okay, so in this case, so I want to reduce more the noise. So what I'm doing is just I'm amping the samples of my area lights, and that's gonna generate a way better result at the end. So the rule of thumb, I think is that's how you say it, I think so. The rule of thumb of this is that you have to go from the samples up right from the lights, and then to the AI camera, and that will work better. So as you can see, I kind of like start modifying this part. I just put the gamma a little bit lower because I wanted to get more of that red skin that was coming out of ZBrush. But you can play with those settings or values as you pleased, and that's gonna definitely give you like a little bit I don't know, more control of how much vibrance would you like in that texture. Then I add a polyplane, and in my polyplane what I do is just kind of like make it act as a bounce plane. So every light that is hitting there is gonna be bouncing underneath the face, so it's gonna kind of like bring it up. Sometimes you're not gonna notice as much, but it makes a difference when you add it. It's kind of like it brings some light. So definitely I add a new shader and change the color to it, and you can see right there underneath the chin that if I turn it on or I turn it off, it's gonna make a difference. There you go. Definitely I do primary visibility off because I don't want that to see in my renders, even though like I'm not seeing it anyways. I just do it as a good practice in case I want to do like a turntable or anything like that, but not at this moment. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this video and find this latest part useful. I know I focus more on ZBrush, but if you guys like, I would like to put another topics and another things of 3D that I enjoy a lot, like hard surface modeling, lighting, and probably other kind of topics besides just sculpting. So if you're new to this channel, just please subscribe, share with your friends. I really appreciate it a lot. Don't forget to hit the notification bell, and see you next Friday, and take care and have an amazing weekend, guys. Keep creating. Bye.